Welcome to Small Arms Solutions. Today we're looking at the FN509 Tactical Pistol. Many experts claim it's the best optics-ready pistol available in the industry today, which I don't think I'm going to be able to argue with. I would tend to agree. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. I also want to thank Brandon from the Gun Room in Shenandoah, Texas, for providing this. Brandon's been very gracious in getting pistols that I want, so we can review them here, and then he sells them later. So he basically is buying pistols for us to use, and we really appreciate that. The 509 pistol was the one that was submitted by FN to the XM17 program. However, it wasn't successful. It was the winner ended up being the Sig P320. However, this is a pistol that is an excellent design. It's very well made. It did everything the XM17 program wanted. Now, at the time of the announcement, FN did not have a pistol that met the XM17 requirements. So basically what they did was they took the FNS pistol that they had and they modified it around the requirements. Basically, what FN borrowed from the FNX9 was the polymer frame, the striker-fired operating system, the recoil operation, a double-stack magazine, and the basic appearance. The magazines were extended, obviously, for the requirements. You have a 24-round magazine here, as well as a standard 17-shot magazine here. Now, the pistol that was submitted was obviously the Coyote tan rather than the black, which we see here. You do get quite a bit of things with this pistol. You do get two 24-round magazines, a 17-shot magazine, an additional back strap, your FN fully authorized trigger guard, and you have your optics mounts. We also have another recoil spring, which we're going to get to eventually here. As you can see here, we come with optics inserts, which we're going to be going over very much in detail. Now, talking about the frame, what we have is a nice checkering. They call it dragon style on here, which is very nice. You have a removable back strap. This is the larger one with the hump on it. Obviously, I have bigger hands, so I tend to put this one on there. Now, for as far as ambi, this is as ambi as they come. You have ambi magazine release on both sides. You have ambi slide release, and there's no manual safety on here, so you have a trigger very similar to that of the Glock with a little tit in the back there, which prevents unintentional discharge. You have a firing pin safety in here, which is very common on all pistols for safety and a drop safety. So you have an incredibly safe pistol here. Now we have a 1913 rail on the front. This is an Olight Valkyrie. Now this is, we're not being paid. This is not a sponsored video for these guys by no means. This is something I happen to have here to show on the 1913 rail. We do have a link on Amazon if you choose to purchase one of these. This particular model is powered by a USB charging cord. You just snap it on here, plug it into a USB port, and it charges it. Now, as we talked about safeties, we have four mechanical safeties. We have a trigger safety, a firing pin safety, a drop safety, and an out-of-battery safety. Now, what is an out-of-battery safety? Every semi-mag pistol in existence that has a locking system has that. Basically what that means is if the barrel is pushed in, the pistol cannot fire. So you have all the modern safeties that you would have with like you would with a Glock or like you would with the PX4 or any other pistol out there. Extremely well-made, safe pistol. Now, the trigger specs is 7 to 8 pounds. However, this one was about 8.2 pounds for me. It was a little bit heavier. Now, it's a very nice trigger pull. You don't have a lot of take-up. It's very smooth. I shot very well with this pistol. I thought it was very well made. The trigger was very good on it. And you have an incredibly low bar axis. So what that means is everything is in line with your arm, which makes getting off follow-up shots very quickly. You have front and rear slide serrations for doing press checks, however you chose to do it. I like this feature on all the pistols. I tend not to really worry too much about that, but you do have a live cartridge indicator on the slide as well. Sights on here, as you see, your suppressor and height. And you also have tritium sights in there as well, so you'd be able to see, in lower level. Sight is co-witness with many different kinds of optics. We're going to talk a little bit more about this patented system they have here for optics on here as well. This slide is nitride finished. Now we're going to talk about the MRD parts we have here. We have 4 MRD inserts. Now, the FN low profile mounting system is patented. It has 10 components. It has 10 commercially available sights. Now, what you have here takes care of most of the sights in the industry. We're talking about the Trijicon RMR, Vortex Venom, Vortex Razor, Dr. Optics, Vortex Viper, Seymour, STS2. Now, the inserts have a dovetail in here, as you can see, rather than just screwing into place. So that's extra strength that you have on here that it's not going to come loose. You'll see that we have on here with iron sights, we have these guards that come up over the top here. Now, basically what these are for is for charging this pistol when you only have one hand. You can go up against any hard object and strike it, and it'll pull the slide back. So you can slam this up against a door, you can slam it up against a tree, anything that this will be able to dig into. So this is just a system that they have on here. Now the adapter place has wings on it as well, as you can see how it comes up and over the side here. So basically the reason is you have a good number of different types of optics you can put on this, and when they are placed on here with the system, most of these optics you're going to put on here, you're going to have co-witness with the iron sights as well, which is something else that's really cool. I haven't seen that too much on them, but most of my pistols, I don't really have too many that have the suppressor height sights, except for my FNX45, which is another pistol I'm extremely fond of. Now the barrel. This is an extended barrel because of the fact that it's suppressed. It's 4-inch and 1 and 10-inch right-hand twist, and you have a 1/2x28 threads on here. And we're going to talk a little bit about that with the suppressor in a few minutes. And you have, like any FN pistol, you have a cold hammer forged barrel, stainless steel barrel, with a step at the muzzle end to lock up consistently. You can see that step here, so you have consistent lockup. The muzzle is countersunk and crowned in to stabilize where bullets reach and exit the barrel. It improves your accuracy as well. Now we're going to talk a little bit about recoil springs. Now, when you start using suppressed suppressors and you start using light ammunition, you can have some really, really light ammunition where you could have some extraction and ejection problems. So this had come with 2 different springs. The yellow one is the for lighter loads, and you have this one in here for everything else. The recoil spring in the pistol is a 24-pound recoil spring, and the one that's for the lighter ammunition is a 17-pound recoil spring. Now, for disassembly of this pistol is very, very easy. We're going to lock it to the rear. We're going to make sure we have no rounds, no brass, no ammo. We have a disassembling latch release lever on the side. We're going to drop that down. Let the slide go forward, and we have to dry fire to release the striker. It pulls the slide right off. Remove the recoil spring, and what you would expect from FN. You have no machining marks, very, very well made. Lift the barrel and lift out, and that's all there is to it. Now you can see there is a step on the barrel. Now you should be able to see that. Now that step is also what helps that lock up consistently to increase your accuracy. You can see this is countersunk as well, which also protects the crown, which improves your accuracy as well if the pistol was dropped. As far as the frame's concerned, very high impact grade polymer. To remove the back strap, you just drive out a pin right here. You can see we do have a nice flared magazine well, and the magazines drop free, no matter what they are, loaded or not. It's a good steel magazine. You have a steel magazine catch as well. Reassembly is quite simple. Drop the barrel right back in like any other pistol. Put your recoil spring. Lock the slide to the rear. Engage. That's all there is to it. The pistol also comes with a thread protector. Now there's a rubber O-ring in the thread protector. What this does is it keeps it from coming loose. So once you have that on there good and tight, it's not going to come off on you unless you take it off. You can definitely feel where that takes up. Now, for the most part, I had no issues with any of the ammunition. We're going to go over ammunition, and we're going to go over some things with each load for as far as reliability is concerned. The pistol was test fired with several different kinds of ammunition. For suppressor, I had the Atlas Defense Pilum suppressor. This is manufactured by Joe Moe. He's a former Sons of Gun guy. Atlas Defense manufactures many different types of sound suppressors. Joe manufactures very affordable suppressors, ones that are very easily maintained. I'm actually quite fond of them, and as a suppressor I chose to use on the FNX pistol. Now what we did was we fired this pistol with this ammunition both suppressed and unsuppressed. So we're going to talk about different kinds of ammunition. The first cartridge I used was the Gecko 115 grain full metal jacket. They had an average velocity of 1,088 feet per second. Now that ammunition worked 100% suppressed and unsuppressed, meaning we had no problems, no malfunctions whatsoever. The Sig M17 124 grain plus P. Now that basically duplicates the M882 ball cartridge. It's a plus P cartridge, and that average velocity is 1,163 feet a second, and that also was 100% reliability with suppressed and unsuppressed.
Shooting Sig 124 grain full metal jacket. Supersonic.
The next round we tested was a Sig Elite match, and that produced my best groups. That had average velocity of 880 foot a second. It was a 147 grain V-crown projectile match. As I said, we tested everything suppressed and unsuppressed. That was 100%. These have all been using the standard recoil spring as well. The next one was the Federal 147 grain Syntec. Now, 100% reliability, both suppressed and unsuppressed. It was an average velocity of 1,048 feet per second. For as far as subsonic ammunition goes, the Syntec is right up on that verge. If you're looking at some, speed of sound is 1,100 feet a second. This was 1,048 feet a second. And I will say I like that because of the fact that this ammunition, you had a good, strong reliability, strong ejection, extraction, or the slide lock back on the last shot with no issues every single time, and the suppression was excellent. I have to say that the Federal Syntec is probably one of my favorite rounds for testing suppressors. However, if you have to use it in the real world suppressed, you definitely would be far better off going with like the Sig 147 grain Match Elite. Now, the next round's where we have some issues. It's the Federal 124 grain Subsonic American Eagle. This perhaps is some of the lightest ammunition that I've shot, and it did cause some problems. You'll see from the video where we had failures to extract, we had failures to eject. I had 8 failures to eject out of 2 magazines with this. And as you're going to see from the photographs, the various types of malfunctions that we had. We had some interesting ones. Stovepipes, we had ones where the cartridge case actually got caught on the side of the slide. This ammunition, for some reason, no matter what pistol I put it in, I had problems. Recently, I used it in the Beretta APX. I had failures, same kind of failures. I've used it in the CZ P708 suppressed, same issues. So I don't know if this ammunition is more so designed for longer barrels, such as carbines or SMGs. But I will say, no matter what I do with it, for as far as shooting suppressed, I have failures. Now, firing it unsuppressed, 100% reliability. But extraction, ejection was very, very weak. It just tends not to operate any of these pistols very well at all and suppressed. So it's definitely not a cartridge I would recommend.
As you can see, we had a failure to eject. This has been pretty normal with this particular kind of ammunition, and it doesn't matter what I seem to put it in. As you can see, it did not lock back in the last shot either.
So when you look at the specifications of the pistol, you're looking at over a weight of 26.9 ounces, overall length of 7.4 inches, barrel length of 4 inches, width of 1.35 inches, a sight radius of 5.79 inches. And again, the trigger pull is 5.5 to 8 pounds. This was just over 8 pounds for me. Now, like any FN pistol, fit and finish is excellent on it. The reliability was very, very interesting, as you saw from the video. It was excellent with everything but that one cartridge, and that one cartridge is across the board. It's been a problem. Now, this pistol has become very, very popular with commercial use, military use. Definitely not here in the U.S. It's been submitted to other countries as well, other law enforcement agencies. For as far as the reliability and durability, it's as good as anything that's out there in the industry today. For an MSRP of $569, you're getting a heck of a pistol. You can get these with or without, the suppressor barrel. Obviously, I do a lot with suppressor, so I prefer the tactical. But the overall fit and finish is excellent. Reliability is there. So overall, this is an excellent pistol. I've been fortunate to get my hands on most of the pistols that were used in the XM17 program, thanks to Brandon at the gun room here in Shenandoah. I like this pistol. I have to say, I am a Glock guy. I like the fit and finish and feel of the Glock. Pretty much overall anything. I will say one of my favorite pistols that I do own is my FNX 45. That is an absolutely gorgeous pistol. I do have a video on that one as well. I would recommend you guys take a look at that. That is probably one of the first guns that I ever got. One of my viewers sent that gun to me and said, try this one out. And the minute I shot that thing the first time, I had to have one. I was on the phone the next day with the distributor I work with, and he got one for me. Beautiful pistol, double action, 15-shot 45. FN makes excellent pistols. They're our primary defense contractor for M16, M4, M249, M240 Bravo, and M2 machine guns. They're a very, very well-respected company throughout the world. If you're looking for a good striker fire pistol, you're looking for one that you're going to have a lot of different types of optics on, this is certainly one to look at. This has a lot of features that a lot of other pistols don't have. It comes completely suppressor ready. It will fire pretty much any ammunition in the industry. The ammunition that we discussed earlier, that American Eagle 124 grain suppressed ammunition, I would not recommend that. The Federal Syntech, I definitely would recommend. We tried quite a bit of types of ammunition in this, and it feeds everything. If y'all enjoyed this video, please click like, please subscribe, and even better, share. Thank you.